ladies and gentlemen, this is the American Music Fan coming at you with my 10th Beatles album review, this time of their 1968 album, The Beatles. Or, if you prefer the White Album, then the White Album. But it is actually a self-titled album, but for the sake of argument, we're going to just call it the White Album. I've reviewed Please Please Me all the way through Magical Mystery Tour and the Beatles box set. If you want to check any of those reviews out, they're up on my channel, so just click on the little More From button or something, and you can just look at all of them. You're obviously here to watch the White Album review. This album, as I said, was their double album from November of 1968. If you look here, the packaging on this is great. If you look here, it's like embossed, so the word The Beatles is like bumpy and raised up. Don't know if you can see it or not, but that's what it is. Here's the back. There's that sleeve. Just like on the original LP, if you were to buy it in the 60s, you get this poster. Nice poster. On the back, you get the lyrics. Can't read those, though. I mean, I can't figure out anyone who could read that. Here's the disc. We switched from Parlophone to Apple Corps because the Beatles record label had started. Then we have the actual package. There's the Beatles written in black. The back with no pictures. That is right. If your copy of this does not have the pictures, you're perfectly okay. You're not supposed to. I know this because I've owned 2 copies of the White Album in this form. I owned one before I got the box set, and then I got the one in the box set. So, yeah. This is a double album. So I am not going to be reviewing both discs right now. I'm going to do a 2-part video. So this will be my review of disc 1, and then disc 2 I will review at a later time. Maybe even today. Let me see if I can get this booklet out here. I'm sorry for the trying to get it out. Okay, here it is. There it comes. Good boy. Okay, so I'm going to go backwards on this because it's easier. Book. Yeah, so this album was pretty controversial, actually. A lot of people took a lot of songs in the wrong way from this album, and there's a lot of controversy about it. But let's get into it, shall we? Disc 1 opens up with Back in the Ussr, which is a song, I think it's a Paul song. Well, Paul sings it at least. But it also features Paul on drums because Ringo stormed out of the studio, and Paul filled in. I think Paul did a really good job on drums, actually. Then we have Dear Prudence, which is kind of a sadder John song. Great guitar work. Dear Prudence, Would You Come Out to Play? Good song there about a girl named Prudence. Next we have Glass Onion, which is a song that the Paul is Dead people took to heart a little bit. From the Here's Another Clue for You All, The Walrus is Paul. This song references a lot of Beatles songs like Strawberry Fields Forever, Fixing a Hole, Fool on the Hill, and of course, I Am the Walrus. Good song, though. I'm going to go through this kind of quick, so get ready. Next we have Paul's Obla-Di Obla-Da song, which is a very bouncy, very happy song about a family with some kids. They help in the marketplace. It's just this idyllic family, I guess. There's not really any problem in this song. Obla-Di Obla-Da, life goes on, rah, ha-la-la-la, life goes on. Next we have Wild Honey Pie, which is just kind of a lead-in to the next song, the continuing story of Bungalow Bill, which I think is about a hunter guy, and all these people are asking him, do you think it's okay to kill? And he's like, duh! So, yeah. Next is a legendary George Harrison song, While My Guitar Gently Weeps. This song, I believe, is about maybe like a girl or somebody who left George and he was all really depressed about it. Maybe he's singing about how Eric Clapton stole his wife from him. Who knows? But, yeah, one of the most legendary George Harrison songs. George really steps it up here in these last couple albums. And this album in particular, the Beatles are really neck and neck with each other. Like, sometimes they'll be like, oh, John stole that album, or Paul stole that album, or even, you know what, George came up and stole that album. This album, they're really neck and neck. Let's not bring Ringo into this. Next we have Happiness is a Warm Gun, which is another darker John song. Good chorus, good build to it. Kind of a trippy song, though. I can't really pinpoint what it's about. Next we have Martha, My Dear, which is a Paul ballad about his dog, Martha. And it's a really good song. Paul really hits the ballads good in this album. He does some really good ballads on here. But he also throws a couple curveballs in, which I'll probably get into more on the next video. Next we get I'm So Tired, which is John being depressed and tired. Should I fix myself a drink? No. I Give You Everything I Got for a Little Peace of Mind. Good song. Next we have Paul's legendary song Blackbird. Really good guitar work on that. I mean, you have to think about it from the 60s point of view. Like nowadays we might be thinking about it like, yeah, well, but a lot of stuff has been done since then, and the guitar on this song is really good. From Blackbird, I get more like, you might have disadvantages, but you have to learn to overcome them. Here's these broken wings, but you got to learn to fly. Here's your sunken eyes, you got to learn to see. It's really good. Next, we have Piggies, which sadly is one of those misinterpreted songs with the Charles Manson stuff, I guess. I don't understand how that happened. It's really unfortunate that people would take these songs in that way. I mean, the Beatles never talked about anything but love and peace, and people took it and thought it was something bad. But yeah, Piggies to me is just kind of a throwaway song about oink oink rolling in the mud, fat pink pigs. But yeah, still good. Next we have Rocky Raccoon, which is Paul McCartney's like Old West illustration of a Old West showdown. The characters in this are Danny Boy, Rocky Raccoon, Lil, and Gilligan. Basically, Danny Boy steals Rocky Raccoon's girl, who is Lil, from him. Rocky gets really pissed off and goes to the saloon they're staying at to have a showdown with him. And then a bunch of crazy stuff happens. Like Rocky Raccoon gets shot. Then we have Don't Pass Me By, which is a Ringo song, which is actually pretty good. They have really good fiddle in this. It's really catchy. Good song. Why Don't We Do It on the Road, which for some reason is really good, really loud. So, it's good. Pretty self-explanatory. Next we got Paul McCartney's another Paul ballad, I Will, which is kind of like, he loves this girl so much he'll basically do anything for her. If it takes a lifetime, if you tell me to, I will. He sings the bass line to it like boom, boom, boom. That's not the actual bass line, but that's just how he does it. Good song. I put it up there with Yesterday. Next we have the closer to the disc and this video, which is John Lennon's song Julia, which John actually goes a little bit soft on this song. Weird, right? Weird. But yeah, Julia, singing about, it's kind of, everything I say is meaningless, but I say it just to please you, Julia. Our sweet child calls me. I'm pretty sure he's singing about someone in his life. I'm pretty sure his first wife's name wasn't Julia. I think it was Cynthia Lennon. But his son's name was Julian, so maybe there's a connection there. It doesn't make sense, though, because he's singing about his son in the song, but he's saying Julia and their son. Maybe he is talking about Julian, I'm not sure. To me, Paul's song about Julian is a little bit better. But, I might get into that some other time. Of course, I'm talking about Hey Jude. But yeah, that's the ending of the disc and part 1 of the White Album. So I hope you enjoyed it. I give disc 1 a 4.75 out of 5. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you tune in next time as I bring you the White Album part 2. Alright, keep rocking, guys. Goodbye.